of kitchenware, cookware using modern technology, the art of pottery is still gaining popularity.
The process proudly brought to you by Buchan Furnitures Limited, local manufacturers of quality office furniture and dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. For orders, visit our showroom at Uniafric House, Koinange Land off Koinange Street.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast on this 30th day, the month of January, the year 2021. The political drumbeats in the country continue to get louder. ODM leader Raila Odinga was in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Deputy President William Ruto took his campaign to Kiambu County, and the One Kenya Alliance took their charm offensive to Kirinyaga County. We got details about what they have in the basket of promises for Kenyans contained in our comprehensive news bulletin that begins right now with the top stories.
What business do Kenyans have electing a man who operates on deceit and conmanship? If he can con fellow leaders, certainly he will con the people of Kenya.
Tunataka kuona kama vijana wetu wanapata kazi. Wakipata mafunzo, wapate kazi kwa maana. Sio kazi ya kusukuma wilbaro.
Who's the fairest of them all? Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga trade political barbs over who can be trusted with Kenya's leadership.
Oka will continue. It is stronger now.
Our eyes are fixed on the prize. One Kenya Alliance moves to allay fears that it is struggling to recover from the exit of Mudavadi and Wetangula. Stimulating the tourism sector, 160 Bulgarians land in Mombasa to explore Kenya's flora and fauna. And staying true to culture, Major General Peter Njiru urges Kenya's allied states to use their diversity to strengthen regional cooperation. All right, welcome to the broadcast. You can stream us online at KBC Channel 1, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Welcome. My name is Serfine Achieng Ouma. John Jacob Kiria is still away, but he will be back soon. But I'm doing this together with our sign language interpreter, Susan Thuku. Now, on to our top story. Deputy President William Ruto has hit out at ODM leader Raila Odinga, accusing him of political mischief. Ruto claims that Raila has failed to keep the promises he makes to his political allies and as such cannot be trusted by Kenyans. Ruto, who was speaking in Limuru, Kiambu County, exuded confidence in the political partnership between UDA, ANC and Ford Kenya. Deputy President William Ruto was in Limuru, Kiambu County Sunday, sustaining his campaign for the 2022 general election.
Round 1 na 70%.
It was while here that Ruto warned Kenyans against trusting ODM leader Raila Odinga, whom he accuses of political mischief.
What business do Kenyans have electing a man who operates on deceit and conmanship? If he can con fellow leaders, certainly he will con the people of Kenya. And with that is not acceptable.
The DP also expressing that the recently forged alliance between UDA, ANC and Ford Kenya will help them secure victory in the August polls.
Tuko na sera sawa, tuko na mpango sawa, tuko na maono sawa, na nia yetu ya kuungana ni ili tumalize uchaguzi round 1 na 70%.
Tumekuwa tukitembea kama Ford Kenya na ANC peke yetu, lakini wakati tulitambua kwamba tushikana na hasala huyu, Kenya inaenda mbele.
And even as details on who will be the presidential flag bearer of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance remaining scanty, leaders allied to the deputy president maintain that he is best suited to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Sisi tukiwa watu wa hapa Limuru na Kiambu, tuliwaonyesha hapa kwetu Kiambaya kwamba tuko nyuma ya UDA.
Na sisi kama mahasela, watu wa kinyozi, watu wa boda, wakulima na Wakenya wote, tumesema muradi wetu na project yetu na rais wetu ni yule anaelewa shida zetu na anaitwa William Ruto. Na sisi tutasimama na Dr. William Samoei Ruto to make sure anaingia State House. Na msidanganywe, Azimio ni ODM na ODM ni Azimio.
Now let me bring you back to Nairobi County. ODM leader Raila Odinga took the Azimio la Umoja Gospel to Dagoretti South and North constituencies, where he promised to take the country forward in development should he ascend to presidency. Speaking after attending a church service in Dagoretti North constituency, Odinga took a swipe at the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, saying that they have no development agenda.
The Azimio la Umoja Brigade pitched camp in Dagoretti North and South constituencies today, where they preached the unity gospel. ODM leader Raila Odinga promised to look into the health sector, youth unemployment and rural industrialization if Kenyans elect him president in the forthcoming general elections.
Tunataka kuona kama vijana wetu wanapata kazi. Wakipata mafunzo, wapate kazi kwa maana. Sio kazi ya kusukuma wheelbarrow.
ODM allied leaders pledged their support for the presidential hopeful, saying the country will be safe under Odinga's administration.
Munajua wale vijana wetu Wetangula na Musalia wameenda Tanga, si ndio? Hao wameenda peke yao. Wananchi wote wa Western wamebaki na baba. Wale ambao tunasimama hapa Nairobi wasikuje kupaka baba matope. Tunataka watu wenye maadili, watu wenye wanaweza kufanya kazi, watu ambao wako suitable kwa zile kazi ambao wanaitisha.
Na sisi tunasema vijana, kina mama, wa baba wako nyuma yako Dagoretti North.
Odinga further took a swipe at the Kenya Kwanza camp, saying their agenda isn't economically viable.
Bei ya unga mimi najua mambo ya bei ya mafuta, kila kitu mimi najua, sio? Sawa, tutahakikisha kwamba bei ya mafuta inarudi chini, bei ya unga vile inarudi chini, sawa.
The leaders further called on Kenyans to register as voters in the ongoing second voter registration exercise by IEBC before the deadline so that they can make their choices hard in the ballot. Yusufar reporting for Sunday Express.
All right, moving this forward, the One Kenya Alliance has ended the weekend with an assurance to its supporters that the union is still strong despite the exit of Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. Speaking in Kirinyaga County, the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and KANU's Gideon Moi say the mission and vision remain crystal clear. Gladys Mungai with details of this report.
It is now clear that NARC Kenya Party leader Martha Karua has moved in to fill the void created by the exit of Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula from the One Kenya Alliance.
I will be able to work for Kirinyaga while continuing to give my services also to the nation of Kenya. Na wauliza sisi sote viongozi muangalie mwenendo wa kila mmoja wetu. Wale tumekuwa kwa uongozi kwa muda mrefu, kila mtu anajulikana. Kama kila mahali unapitia ubora na kuomba, tusichague mtu wa aina hiyo.
We stand for true leadership na Martha Karua. Integrity in leadership. Ndio tumekuja hapa tuambie hiyo. Wangapi wanaruhusu Martha aungane na ndugu yangu Gideon Moi na mimi tuokoe Kenya? Wangapi wanakubali?
After dancing to the tunes of Blossoming Alliance in Machakos on Saturday, the concert shifted base to Karua's backyard on Sunday.
NARC Kenya! NARC Kenya!
Here, OKA remained defiant that the so-called earthquake had indeed strengthened its resolve to make Kenya a better country come August.
Hii kura ambayo itakuja, the national elections, hatutaki tafadhali ati tuende round 2.
Hakuna round moja.
Round ya kwanza tumalize. Round ya
Oka, we will continue. It is stronger now. Unajua ndugu wengine walikuwa wanauliza na mimi anasema wale ndugu walituacha. Whom can you trust? Wakaenda usiku wakatuacha.
The leaders tore into Deputy President, accusing him of deserting the head of state.
Badale wewe mwadalifu kwa kiongozi wa nchi mwenye instruments of power, unamwadama, unamtukana, na wewe ni deputy yake.
People with a record of corruption, a record of abusing and mismanaging public resources. Even if they promise you heaven, with what are they going to fulfill their promises?
Martha Karua's entry into the One Kenya Alliance is seen as a shot in the arm for the political union that has struggled to find its footing in the race for State House. Reporting for Sunday Express, I'm Gladys Mungai.
All right, and let's stay on the campaign trail. Amani National Congress Party leader Musalia Mudavadi has dismissed claims of being a political traitor who cannot be trusted with the country's leadership. Speaking after attending a church service at St. Faith ACK Church in Rongai, Kajiado County, Mudavadi said he has no apologies to make to former allies in the One Kenya Alliance over his decision to team up with Deputy President William Ruto under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Ben Chumba reports.
Exactly 1 week after Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and his KANU counterpart Gideon Moi staged a dramatic walkout from ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi's presidential campaign launch at the Bomas of Kenya, the former One Kenya Alliance allies continue to trade accusations over who is to blame for the split.
5 years nilikuwa tayari nimwambie ndugu Mudavadi, I will now support you openly so that we also can show Kenyans kunaweza kuwa viongozi whose word is their bond.
Wala ambao wanababaika waambie those are the effects of the earthquake. The earthquake inaendelea.
However, speaking after a service at St. Faith ACK Church in Rongai, Kajiado County, NC party leader Musalia Mudavadi faulted his former allies for labeling him a political betrayer in forming a new alliance with Deputy President William Ruto.
We had broad consultations and we made our pronouncement when we were at the National Delegate Conference, in broad daylight, not at night, in broad daylight. We made it very clear that we are taking a different course. We were creating the earthquake that will make Kenyans make that decision. So we did not betray anybody.
Despite the former OCA principals claiming disunity and distrust slowly shredded their union, Mudavadi claimed his former allies were already warming to Azimio la Umoja movement affiliated to ODM leader Raila Odinga.
The truth of the matter is that when we were engaging with some of the members who were in that OCA wing, we could see that wao walikuwa wanataka kuegemea kwa mradi wa serikali. Na wananchi hawakutaka mradi wa serikali. Wanataka wachague viongozi wao. So I stood with the people.
Ben Chumba, Sunday Express.
All right, thank you, Ben Chumba, for that report. We continue to update you on every step being taken on that road to the 2022 August polls right here on KBC Channel 1. That report takes us to our first break. To stay with us. Still more coming up ahead.
Beacon Furnitures Limited. We're local manufacturers of quality office furniture, dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. Our automated state-of-the-art factories at Henna House along Enterprise Road in Nairobi's industrial area. Our showroom is at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. We are passionate believers in locally manufactured goods. When you and I buy locally made furniture, we impact on the livelihoods of our brothers and sisters. For orders, visit our showroom at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. Beacon Furnitures Limited. Jenga Kenya, tupate ajira.
Ungetupa chetu, hiyo tamaa ingekuwepo.
Hiyo tamaa ndio iliwafunga macho nyinyi mpaka mkaa hamkuwa tayari.
Siku yako itafika tu.
Sikutarajia kuwa utapata ujumbe wangu.
Kabisa hawawezi kuona.
Tatizo liko wapi?
So yeye ndo macho yangu huko mjini. Na nikifanya mzaa hata nitakupoteza peupe.
Sasa akili kichwani mwako. Kwaheri.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. 160 Bulgarian tourists have landed in Mombasa County in what is seen as a positive step towards reviving the troubled sector. Tourism players in the region say the arrival, coupled with local tourism, will lift the sector back to its feet after setbacks brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Addressing the press shortly after welcoming the tourists, Kenya Tourism Board Marketing Director Fred Okeo said the arrival of the flight gave a ray of hope to the struggling tourism industry.
There were those restrictions, but they went out of their way to show confidence. And for us, it's just to showcase the destination in terms of how ready we are in restarting the business, in showcasing our protocols, how we adhere to them very well, and also in marketing the varied experiences and products and attractions that we have in this country.
The second charter flight is expected in the country on 26th of February this year. Pullman's Tours and Safaris Managing Director Mohamed Hersi said Kenya is now looking to tap into Bulgarian market, which remains untapped. Hersi noted that the government is committed to revamp the tourism sector through upgrading of aviation facilities.
The appeal we are making to government is to reinstate the charter incentive scheme. We need it now more than ever before. It costs nothing less than $1 million to put a flight, on a route, on charter. So the investment is heavy. And then number two, we also asking government to really support scheduled flights to come and land on this newly refurbished airport.
The Bulgarians, some of whom are visiting Kenya, said the country offers some of the best natural attractions in the region.
We decided to make this first charter flight to Mombasa because this is a new destination for Bulgaria. And the people want to come, to see, to go on safari and to go in the beautiful beaches.
For Sunday Express from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondiga.
Thank you, Michael, for that report. Now, 101 people have tested positive for the COVID-19 disease from a sample size of 3,923 tested in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate now stands at 2.6%. From these cases, 95 are Kenyans, while 6 are foreigners. 54 are male, while 47 are female. 2 patients succumbed to the disease, all of them being late deaths reported after conducting record audits. Meanwhile, 542 patients have recovered from the disease. 432 are from the home-based isolation and care program, while 110 are from various health facilities countrywide. A total of 12 million vaccines have been administered across the country, with the government targeting to hit 27 million by June 2022. And a total of 452 patients are currently admitted in various health facilities countrywide, while 4,690 are under the home-based isolation and care program. 17 patients are in the intensive care unit and all are on ventilatory support. 3 patients are in the high dependency unit. Away from COVID-19, the Defence Staff College Commandant, Major General Peter Njiru, has called on Kenya's allied states to strengthen their cooperation for unity and progress of the region. The Commandant spoke during the Defence Staff College Cultural Day held at the Staff College in Karen that saw 10 African countries, among them Kenya, showcase their rich cultural artifacts, meals and traditional dances. The annual celebration is held to foster regional cooperation. Yusuf Farah reports.
Songs and dance filled the air. The Defence Staff College in Karen as guests and staff alike came together to celebrate the annual Defence Staff College Cultural Day. Kenya and its allied state officers trading their military uniforms for their cultural outfits. The college commandant, Major General Peter Njiru, and his team will then be treated to traditional dances by the Defence Forces allied states present.
This one is maize, but it normally, it's called.
The team then took turn visiting the country's tents for an optical buffet of artifacts and meals that the respective countries are best known for. Major General Peter Njiru expressed his delight in the cultural diversity and similarities showcased in the Cultural Day as a reason for fostering a good relationship with the allied states.
Having gone through the various stunts and being taken through the various aspects of culture on over, I can attest that there is a deep beauty and strength in diversity. It is my conviction that we should continue safeguarding and strengthening our African cultural roots. As the Swahili says, mwachamila ni mtumwa.
The commandant further added that through the cultural day, the college will produce graduates that have respect and appreciation for other nations' traditions.
The diversity in cultural orientation does not only inspire creativity and drive for innovation, but also get to understand the world better and therefore prevents negative views on some cultures.
The annual event brought together 61 officers, 47 among them Kenyans and the rest from the 9 countries present. Africa's cultural diversity has today been showcased in a show of its own kind with a touch of military precision, with the officers showing that they too can be cultural ambassadors of their countries. Yusufar reporting for Sunday Express.
Great reporting there, Yusuf Farah. Now, moving on, residents and conservationists in Kiambu County celebrated World Wetlands Day during the annual Ondiri Wetland Conservation Run. The run, which was graced by the county governor, aims at raising awareness and resources towards the conservation of depleted wetlands in the country. Wetlands are an important source of water.
Kiambu County Government plans to launch a master plan to ensure the conservation of Ondiri Swamp in Kikuyu. The swamp, which provides clean water and is a source of livelihoods for residents of Nairobi and Kiambu, is under threat due to massive pollution and encroachment. Speaking at the annual Ondiri Wetland Conservation Run, Kiambu Governor James Nyoro said that they have put in place plans to rehabilitate the wetland and make it a tourist attraction with bird watching, ziplining and a nature walk.
On our part, as the county government of Kiambu, we are working closely with the Friends of Ondiri and all the residents to make sure that we observe what it takes to maintain this wetland. We have come up with a master plan. In fact, we have a budget and we have a plan to make sure that it is not only a wetland, but we will make it a tourist destination.
The Friends of Ondiri Wetlands, who organized the run, emphasized the importance of conservation of the depleting wetlands. Counties were also urged to work with local communities to protect wetlands from land grabbing and pollution. The event was held as a build-up to the World Wetlands Day, which is celebrated on the 2nd of February.
And wetlands are disappearing 10 times faster than forest. And our appeal to the world is that, and to the communities of the world, is that we need to give more attention to the wetlands.
We want to call upon the county governments that have wetlands, that they should actually desist from having those wetlands as wastelands or damming sites.
Now, the government has been urged to come up with mechanisms of curbing the increasing incidents of murder and suicide among police officers. John Arile, a retired police officer, said there is need for the National Police Service to monitor officers on a regular basis in order to keep their welfare and mental health in check.
It was a rare ceremony for the residents of Kusolol in Chepariria, West Pokot County. The residents mingled with serving and retired police officers in song and dance to celebrate the homecoming of retired police officer John Arile after being in service for 42 years. Some of the officers gracing the occasion came from as far as Kamukunji in Nairobi, where Arile once served. Arile was treated to a grand entrance where he marched to the venue of the ceremony as if inspecting a guard of honor. The cake to mark the ceremony was decorated in police colors with congratulatory messages written on. Arile expressed concern over the increase in cases of murder and suicide among police officers in the country and stressed the need for action. He said that it was time for the National Police Service to pay keen attention to the officers' welfare and ensure proper communication between police bosses and their juniors.
Unaweza kupika transfer kama northeastern tuseme huko Nairobi na pengine huko na watoto wako wa shule. Ukipigwa transfer hakuna mtu anajali. Ukisema wacha nifanye watoto kwanza ni transfer waende shule ya nyumbani, unaambiwa hakuna. Unaambiwa mpaka uende. Sasa vitu kama hizo ndio unaona hao vijana wetu siku hizi wanakinyonga, wanacommit suicide.
Basi tutunge kazi yetu na tutunge nchi yetu ya Kenya. Hiyo tu kwa askari wenzangu. Sioni kama iko shida nyingine. Unajua kazi yetu hata ukifanya mzuri raia wewe sema umefanya kazi mzuri. Sasa ni kungangana tu. Ile atasema umesaidia sawa. Usiposema sawa tu.
And as curtains fall on his 42 years in service, Arile says he will use his vast experience in service to mentor young police officers. Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
Indeed, thank you for your service, John Arile, and to all men and women in uniform who put their lives on the line to safeguard the peace and stability of this country. Now, moving this forward, Meru County Government intends to convert the home of freedom fighter Field Marshal Musa Mwariama and his graveyard into a historical tourist site. Mwariama is among the freedom fighters whose survival tactics gave the colonial masters a hard time as he eluded their attempts to capture him. Nancy Okware with this story.
When Kenya started fighting for its independence, one man, Field Marshal Musa Mwariama, was determined to ensure that the colonial government would have no space to rule. Mau Mau leaders were hunted down by colonial government forces, with those captured, executed or tortured and jailed. But Mau Mau fighters' resilience to the cruelty kept the independence struggle alive. Field Marshal Musa Mwariama was one of those fighters. According to Brigadier Joseph Mwenda, who used to be his bodyguard, there were 4 layers of security to guarantee his safety and that of his command base at any given time.
Mwariama nilikuwa ninamwangalia kama bodyguard wale wengine. Hakuna mtu angerejea karibu na yeye bila kujua huyu ni nani na anakuja kufanya nini na yeye. Tukafanya akili na mariba mpaka tukaona wakoloni wameshoka na sisi.
Mwenda says several people had to taste his food to ensure he was not poisoned.
Tulikuwa tunaletewa chakula na watu wetu, na Mwariama akifikiwa na hiyo chakula lazima tupatie watu kama 3-4 tuone kama inashinda. Tukiona ni sawa sawa anakula.
He recalls how soon after independence, Field Marshal Mwariama and 8 of his men were hosted by Mzee Jomo Kenyatta at his Gatundu home, where he presented Mwariama with a Kenyan flag and reassured him that the nation was now free.
Kakaa miaka 12 msituni na akatokea akiwa na maaskari. Yeye ndiye alitokea akiwa Field Marshal akiwa na askari, alikuwa na askari 2000 kwa msitu. Yeye mwenyewe ndiye alikuwa mtu wa kwanza kupatiwa bendera ya Kenya. Akaambiwa bless hiyo bendera.
Field Marshal Mwariama died in 1989 from the effects of a snake poison he sucked from the leg of a friend who was bitten by a snake.
Wakati Mwariama alikufa hapa, ni mimi wawili walikuja hapa. Wengine wote hatukuwaona. Sasa miaka tumemaliza 58. Hiyo miaka 58 hakuna kitendo, hakuna nini.
It is for his efforts in fighting for the independence that the county government of Meru has converted his home and grave into a historical tourist site. A Kenyan flag is hoisted at his grave in his honor.
There will be the guides to these Mwariama tourism site. They will be guiding tourists and telling them about the history of Mwariama. We will have interpreters. We have scouts or youths who will be employed here to act as guides.
Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
Now to the counties, 6 communities living in Samburu County can now breathe a sigh of relief after they were issued with community land title deeds for their respective group ranches, bringing to an end the prolonged push and pull over the land ownership. The move was made possible through local government and foreign envoys, is aimed at empowering communities to protect their land from encroachment, which results to conflicts among communities.
The 6 communities living in the larger Samburu County are a happy lot after their efforts to have land tenure rights through public participation forums and documentations finally paid off.
Tulichukua 5 years tukifanya registration ambaye ni kitu inasafanyika within 2 weeks or 3 weeks kwa wale watu wanaelewa. Tukaspend pesa kiasi lakini hatu lose hope baada ya watu wetu kuelewa na kwa sasa wako sawa.
Meanwhile, families in Goigwa Thika, whose property went up in flames on Christmas, have gotten some reprieve after they received 165,000 shillings from Kiambu County government.
Tunauliza wenye wamebarikiwa na mali na wenye ni wa roho safi, juu kupeana sio mali, kupeana ni roho. Wenye wako na roho ya kusaidia hawa watu waniambie niweze kuwaleta kwa hawa watu, ili mwenye ataweza kuwasaidia na 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 ndio hawa watu wangu waweze kurudi kwa laini yao ya maisha.
Elsewhere, the National Aid Control Council has urged Kenyans to continue waging a war on HIV and AIDS.
As we move towards the year 2030, Kenya has committed itself to ending new infections of HIV by the year 2030, having zero stigma and having zero HIV or rather AIDS-related mortality.
And a young woman in Wamita village, Gatondo South, is appealing to well-wishers to help her raise 2 million shillings to enable her undergo medical treatment in India. Annabel Mothoni suffers from multi-level cervical spondylodiscopathy, also known as arthritis of the spine.
Yanza condition kumwa na mkono hii ya left na ikakuwa weak such that hata saa hii siwezi kushika kitu. And therefore sasa nikaambiwa niko na maji ambayo imejiform hapo kwa the spinal cord, na nikaambiwa tu inaweza tu kutolewa na surgery, na pia kulikuwa na lesion nyingine ilikuwa imedevelop na nikafanyiwa hiyo operation.
Well-wishers can send their donations to paybill number 247247, account number 0660487487793.
Mimi nataka kuomba nyinyi mnatuangalia, kama nyinyi mnatusikiliza, mtusaidie ili tupate pesa ya kwenda kupeleka Annabel mpaka India na atibiwe, ndiye akuwe kama amesimama kama wasichana wale wengine.
Finally, former Kipkelion MP Magerel Langat has called on the government to erect a monument for cooperatives at Kipkelion town in Kericho County to signify where the foundation of the cooperative movement in the country was laid in 1909. Lumbwa Cooperative Society was the first to be registered in the country and across the region under the British laws.
Unajua ile nyumba ya magunia pale tulikuwa tumeomba serikali i-reserve kama monument ya cooperatives katika Kenya, ulimwengu mzima, because the first cooperative in the world ilikuwa hapa Kipchoria.
Jacqueline Masharia for Sunday Express.
Thank you, Jacqueline, for that report. Now, Alfred Mwatili, Sami, you're watching live. We appreciate your time. Judith Konongoi, Judith, you're watching from Transmara. Ali Hamza watching from Machakos, and Gaiti Purity. Some of our viewers who are streaming this live on Facebook at KBC Channel 1 News. Thank you so much for creating time for us tonight. We are going to be taking a short break right here on Sunday Express. Please don't go too far. We still have more lined up for you on the other side.
I want you there to share in my happiness. Please come, okay?
I create opportunities for myself. Others don't give them to me, and no one knows what I want better than myself.
Mom, what do you think?
Great. But we should have told your dad in advance. I shouldn't be here tonight.
They're making a toast. I don't know if it's proper for you to go in right now.
This isn't proper.
It'll be fine. It's already taken care of, right?
有一段故事建筑一座城堡，回忆放进去后就不再。
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124.
All right, welcome back. And now it is our time for our weekly episode of The Process. And tonight we focus on the art of pottery. How does clay end up being something beautiful and useful? Jackie Wambiru takes us through this. Take a look.
Despite the development of kitchenware, cookware using modern technology, the art of pottery is still gaining popularity. This week on The Process, we focus on the art of pottery.
So this is malleable clay that we've brought all the way from Kitengela to here.
First things first, malleable clay, meaning foldable, is acquired.
So we take the clay through a process, we sieve it, get some very nice lip which doesn't have any impurities like sand or any roots, and then we dry it on our ceramic beds and get very malleable clay. So we cut clay using a wire cutter.
To mold a piece, the clay is cut into the required size and then transferred to the potter's wheel.
To remove off all the air bubbles.
While at the wheel, it is wedged to remove all the air bubbles. After that, it is then put on the potter's wheel through a process called throwing, where it is then dampened to reduce friction before centering of the clay commences. Centering of the clay requires the clay to be pulled up and down.
Or center the clay by even adding water just to reduce friction. We pull up the walls, open the piece, pull up the walls, and then we get the desired shape that we want. And by doing this, the clay is centered.
Lines are then drawn on the clay to establish that the clay is centered and opened up by putting a hole at the center.
So all the lines were well centered. So right now I'm opening the piece. So I put pressure using one of my fingers. I do a hole at the center and then I pull out the clay.
It is then removed from the potter's wheel using a clean wire cutter and allowed to dry.
The bottom is not very heavy, so I'll just trim it.
Trimming then takes place so as to acquire the desired shape and weight.
Trim the pieces so that we can get the desired shape as well as the desired weight. We don't want very heavy pieces or a little bit of faulty pieces, either on the rims or even on the final piece.
The pieces then undergo a drying process by letting them sit out.
So we take the pieces through drying, and which is a very natural way of drying. So depending with the size of the piece, the smaller they are, they take a shorter time. The bigger they are, they take a longer time. So we leave them out, and at times we have to slow down the process of drying by covering them up with polythene. But that is for the very big pieces when you don't want them to develop cracks. So I'm going to arrange these pieces in our kiln.
After letting them sit out, the pieces are traversed to the electric kiln where they're fired up. After placing the pieces in the electric kiln, the pieces undergo a process known as water smoking.
I'll leave the kiln open just slightly at the top, and also the plugs will be open just to allow any moisture to come out, and that is called water smoking.
After 12 hours, the fired up pieces are removed from the kiln. After the pieces are hardened by heat, they're now referred to as ceramic or bisque. The bisqueware then undergoes glazing, which involves the use of metal oxides to paint, dip or spray the pieces. After glazing, the pieces are then returned to the electric kiln and heat up so as to achieve the final product.
Very safe metal oxides. So we either dip, we spray, or repaint the pieces. And then we get our glazed pieces like this. This is a glazed piece, which we are going now to return back to the kiln. Fire it for like 12 hours at a higher temperature of 1100 degrees Celsius, and now get the final products.
The final products are now ready for market. Jackie Wambiru, The Process.
Thank you, Jackie Wambiru, for getting your hands dirty for us. Now we know the art of pottery. This segment actually features every Sunday right here on Sunday Express. If you want to know how different things are made, the process is brought right here for you. Now we're going to be taking a very short break. We are coming back with much more, including the latest from the world of sports.
Ungetupa chetu, hiyo tamaa ingekuwepo.
Hiyo tamaa ndio iliwafunga macho nyinyi mpaka mkaa hamkuwa tayari.
Siku yako itafika tu.
Sikutarajia kuwa utapata ujumbe wangu.
Kabisa hawawezi kuoana.
Tatizo liko wapi?
Sio yeye ndo macho yangu huko mjini. Na nikifanya mzaa hata yeye atakupoteza peupe.
Sasa akili kichwani mwako. Kwa heri.
All right, now into the world of sports. Defending champions Ulinzi Warriors advanced to the semi-finals of the Kenya Basketball Premier League playoffs after humbling Kisumu Lakeside 86-67 in Game 3 of their best-of-3 quarterfinals playoff series played at the Nyayo National Stadium Gymnasium. Ulinzi Warriors will take on Strathmore University in the semi-finals next weekend at the Nyayo National Stadium Gymnasium.
Ulinzi Warriors recovered after losing the opening game to Lakeside, easily winning Game 2 and 3 to advance to the semi-finals. Led by national team players Captain Eric Mutoro, Victor Bosire and Valentine Nyakinda, the defending champions won the first quarter 21-13. Lakeside fought hard in the second quarter but lost 28-13 to send the match into the breather, Ulinzi Warriors leading 49-26. After resumption, Lakeside backed the third and fourth quarters 20-18 and 21-19, but lost the match 86-67. Ulinzi Warriors will now take on Strathmore University in the semi-finals next weekend.
We just went back to the drawing board, corrected our mistakes, which were turnovers. We were not balancing the court. And I have to give it up for Kisumu being in their home court. It was a little bit tricky for us. But when you came here, first of all, our training sessions, they were here at Nyayo. We felt the rim, and the mistakes that we did, we just corrected them.
Wajua kila mtu sahihi kwa hii league anaangalia Ulinzi Warriors. Kwa hivyo siwezi legeza, pia mimi nitalala mbele mpaka pale itafika. Na kwa maplayer wangu wale niko nao, I know nitakuwa niko finals. Finals must be finals.
First of all, nataka ku big up our opponents. They did well. They used their chances well. Most of their shots were going in. And unfortunately, some of our shots are not going in, but I'm sure we'll come back stronger next level.
Game 1 and Game 2 of the semi-finals will be played next weekend at the Nyayo National Stadium Gymnasium.
From basketball to swimming, Brisbane Swimming Club and USIU Dolphins Swim Club bagged a lion's share of medals on day 2 of the NCAA Swimming Championship held at Makini School right here in Nairobi. The two-day event brought together 27 swimming clubs.
Kamotho Christine from Otter Swimming Club won the girls 12 to 13 years 200 meters butterfly ahead of Makhari Haila and Eliana Nzioki, who came in second and third respectively.
I feel good, I feel happy because it's the only thing that helps you is obedience and discipline. My goal is to go for the Olympics and swim for Kenya, and my other goal is to be the best swimmer in Kenya and in the world.
I started swimming when I was around 2 years old. I feel excited and proud of myself. Yes, and I also need to make better times.
Van Brussel won the boys 10 to 11 years 100 meters individual medley ahead of Jason Kamau and Leroy Gitai, who completed the top 3 positions.
It's been a good event so far in the second day. Good to be back after I think more than 2 years out because of COVID. I'm sure it affected everyone. So it's good. I mean, came back this semester, got back into training, and not as good as we used to, but we're still trying. Not too far off from our usual events, but I mean, the work has shown and we're slowly getting there.
27 teams took part in the NCAA Swimming Championship. Daniel Mwendwa, Sport.
And moving on, 24/7's Bobby Kamani says he will now shift focus to the new season after battling a 1-1 draw with Jacaranda Motors in a closely contested season-ending encounter at the Nairobi Polo Ground. The draw saw Bobby mathematically miss this year's title.
Bobby proved that he was more intelligent after rectifying Saturday errors and proved to be more superior than Jumba, who had taken an early lead yesterday.
I think it was a very good balance of experienced riders and beginners, and I think that's what balanced the whole game out. Yesterday we were actually 1 goal down, so we had to work extra hard today to equalize, and we managed to equalize.
He said that he was glad to finish the season on a high note.
I think it's been a great day of learning, a great weekend of learning, and a super season of a lot of fun, learning to play polo, and especially learning from the experienced riders who have given us so much knowledge and experience that we can take forward into the next season.
Most of it is just riding, knowing how to ride, and of course perfecting it, because I think riding takes 70% of your time in the field. Then the other 30% is probably the ball, and where you need ball to eye coordination.
Bobby will now shift focus to the new season after a good run this season.
I think I managed to do better ride-offs today. I managed to keep my main opponent Kelvin at bay, and I think that's why it was a very good game, because we were both at each other, and I think that's what made it a tough, challenging, but a very enjoyable game altogether.
The Polo Championships will take 1 month break before the new season begins. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And now on to the Africa Cup of Nations. Teenager Dango Outara scored the only goal and was sent off as Burkina Faso surprised Tunisia to reach the Africa Cup of Nations semi-finals. Host indomitable Lions of Cameroon also advanced to the last four after humbling Gambia 2-0.
Pinched from underneath his nose, and here is Burkina Faso.
Dako Owarata ran on to Beati Toures through ball, held off two defenders and cut inside before firing in.
It's in the back of the net, look at that! Look at that!
However, Owarata was sent off in the 82nd minute for an elbow on Ali Malhoul. The Stallions, who have never won the tournament, will meet the winner of the semi-final tie between Terega Lions of Senegal and Equatorial Guinea. Elsewhere, host indomitable Lions of Cameroon advanced the last four after trouncing Gambia 2-0. Toko Ekabi gave Cameroon the lead in the 50th minute, glancing it from Collins Fai's right-wing cross.
Right, on that sporting note, we wrap this up on this second last day of the first month, the year 2022. Remember, some of these stories we are posting on our website, www.kbc.co.ke, and also interact with us on YouTube at KBC Channel 1 on all social media platforms. My name is Serfine Achieng Ouma. I've been doing this together with Susan Thuku, our sign language interpreter. We thank you for catching the broadcast tonight. Have a good one.
Ili kupata skiza tune hii ya mwanzo mpya, bonyeza *811 *815 #.
Usikae hapo na kujihurumia eti kwa sababu ulikosea ama ulianguka. Maisha wakati mwingine utapata umeanguka ama umekosea. Pata mafunzo pale. Unapopata mafunzo, inuka tena. Kung'uta mavumbi, songa mbele. Yaliyopita jamani, si ndwele, ganga yajayo. Maana kuna nguvu katika mwanzo mpya.
Ili kupata skiza tune hiyo ya mwanzo mpya, bonyeza *811 *815 *811 *815 #.
Tusirudi nyuma kwa mipaka na nchi kufungwa. Tusirudi kwa biashara na shule kufungwa. Kwa kutoweza kukutana. Kwa kutengana na tuwapendao. Tusirudi nyuma.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Ili tuendelee na maisha vizuri.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge,
pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge,
pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Ili tuendeleze maisha bora kwa ajili ya wapendao, nchi yetu na usoni wetu. Kwa ajili yetu sisi sote. Pata chanjo. Kaa chonjo. kuhakikisha nchi yetu na uchumi wetu umestawi katika uwazi. Tusirudi nyuma.
I want you there to share in my happiness. Please come, okay?
I create opportunities for myself. Others don't give them to me, and no one knows what I want better than myself.
Mom, what do you think?
Great. But we should have told your dad in advance. I shouldn't be here tonight.
They're making a toast. I don't know if it's proper for you to go in right now.
This isn't proper.
It'll be fine.